Hey everyone, let's go ahead and look at the markets together. So I'll be looking at a few coins, Bitcoin, ETH, Farcoin, Hype, and Zcash. I don't give a shit about Sol anymore, so I won't be covering that anymore. But let's take, if you can hear squeaking in the background, it's my dogs. I'm not going to edit anything anymore. I really don't give a shit about the content I put out and the noise behind it. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Um, First things first, Bitcoin is catching a spot bid here. I mean, if you guys have been following my um if you guys have been following my Twitter updates for those not following me, I initially said that we were going to bounce out. Actually, here. This is the chart that all right. So back when um we were here, I said that there wasn't a capitulation wick. So over here, that same day, we got this wick, and that's where you wanted to buy. This is the area that I discussed in my previous video. This was the weekly level that I gave as well, and we bounced right from it. Now, from that dip, okay, from this area, we got about a 12% move, right? And I did mention that I was looking for 90 to 92K. Well, we got that. This was the supply zone. This is the area that I mentioned. And it's not just random shit that I'm making up. It's a clear supply zone. We rejected right from it, and we got a nice move down. Now we are back to where spot is leading. We have a premium of $30, so people are buying spot. The market is completely wiped from leverage, and we should bounce from here. Okay, so if we take a look at this from a lower time frame, we can see that until we flip here, actually, let's start from higher time frame and go down. Until we get back above this level here, this 93.5K, there's no reason to be ultra bullish. And even if we get back above this level, people are talking about all-time highs and shit like that. No, this market is actually cooked. I think this bear market lasts for, maybe up until like summer or fall of next year. And then we do something like this, to be honest. I think we chop between this level for a little bit, and then we have a move down into the 50K, and then we resume back up. Now, this is going to take some time. Don't look at this drawing based on timeline. I think that this market is in a downtrend or definitely a downtrend up until then. It's just going to be choppy for the next few months. We may have some type of, rally just like we did from 80K to 93K. Those will happen again. But I think for the time being, you know, people that are ultra bullish are complacent. There's no reason to be ultra bullish right now. I don't know what happened to my drawing. Let's go here. Okay. So I think that we chop here. As long as we are below this 93.5K, there's no reason to be bullish. Above this, then, if we flip this back into support like we did here, then we can talk about the next levels. And right now, that level is that next supply zone around 115 to 106K. Okay, that is the next level of rejection, or this is the boss level to flip before going higher. So going back to a lower time frame, and because we have spots showing up here, again, we have about a $40 to $50 premium. I think that this is a potential area where we could rebound from. So I think over the course of the next couple of weeks, we could get a move into this yellow box here. Okay. Now, if we take a look at the monthly that just started, we have a flat top. okay, a 90K. So rejection, that is most likely going to be some type of resistance, and we reject from there. But I think that if we do get this move up, it's going to be something like this, and then back down. All right, and this will be a range for at least 1 to 2 months, in my opinion. Now, Monday just ended, and you want to play that range. So here is Monday's low, and here is Monday's high. Okay, so that is the range that you currently want to play. If we sweep these lows, then you look for longs. If we take out the Monday high, which is also going to be resistance, then you look for shorts. Okay, that's what you want to take note of and play. Monday's range has formed, and you want to play Monday's range. I am more in favor of scalp longs here. You're not going to get swing longs. We're not talking about 105K, 110K, whatever. You're going to give what is given to you and what is presented in front of you, and this is the current range. So if I'm looking for longs, I'm looking for the Monday low to be taken, and then we play the Monday high shorts if given as well. Now, if we take fibs from the swing high to Monday swing low, we have the golden pocket close to the Monday high, and then the 786 fib right at the bearish OB, which you could be looking for shorts. So you have enough confluence to take shorts there. And if you want to add more confluence, you can draw a trend line, and as soon as price goes up there, look for shorts. This is the main short region where I don't know when we'll get there, but this is my third to last video that I'm making. So if we get to that area, that is a short to take. So like I said, I'm more in favor of longs here because we have a premium bid on spot. So price should either, it doesn't mean we're going to go up. This is a lagging indicator. We could sweep these lows and then grind up there, but play the Monday range until given. All right. Watch my macro video on macro analysis. That does not change. That's not going to change. I still think we head into the 70K with a macro low of 52K being put in during the bear market lows. All right, that's not going to change. I'm not going to go over that again in this video. Next, let's take a look at ETH. Now, ETH is much weaker compared to Bitcoin. Okay, and this is the same level that I gave in my last video. It was a weekly demand zone. I think it was a 3-day actually, but the weekly demand zone. Yep, 3 demand zone, and we hit it perfectly last week, a little bit more than last week, and from this area it gave us a 10% move. Now this demand zone, as long as it holds, and we are currently in it, is an area for longs. However, that is a disgusting daily candle. Downtrend is still currently there. I'm going to remove everything else and let's start from scratch. Downtrend again is still currently there, and we just got rejected again. Back on Friday, back on Sunday, and there is no true until we get above this level here, 3,600. ETH is completely bearish. Okay, but if you're looking to look for longs, then there's one of two areas where you want to long. One, a flip of 3K, which was previously support. We lost it, turned to resistance. We went up, bounced again, and went up a downward downtrend. So that is one area where you can look for longs. The second one is you could wait for a sweep of these lows here. And again, you have the Monday high and the Monday low. You can play that range, but these are untested liquidity areas. So you could see that taken. And again, this is a demand zone that we are still currently in. So we could see the sweep happen. You also have this demand zone within the giant demand zone. So this was the 3-day demand zone. This is the daily demand zone. So you could see that sweep happen. So look for a move like this. Once that sweep happens, stop loss below that area. So something like this, sweep, and then longs triggered, TP1, TP2, TP3. Areas of resistance, obviously. You guys can figure that out. You're all grown men and women. So that is going to be another area for a long, or you wait until this level is flipped to support to enter longs from there. All right. But again, ETH is relatively weak compared to Bitcoin, and focus shouldn't be on ETH, in my opinion. Longs will be more favorable for Bitcoin. Like I said, this is an area where I would like to see us bounce from. If you guys can also see this, it was previously support here. Now we're rejecting. So again, either we get that sweep low on the Monday, or you wait until this happens, and then you can long up until 89 and then 93. All right. The coin that is most favorable to me in the market, and I gave this to you guys on Twitter and in my server as well, were setups that looked like this. Now, a lot of setups that look like this gave a nice move. Fartcoin looks extremely strong. So not only did we have a breakout for about 42% move, but we had a breakout and retest, and then now you had another retest of this diagonal trendline support. All right. We also swept these lows here. So on a lower time frame, Fartcoin looks exceptional, and it looks like again it's about to break out. Okay. So Fartcoin looks good, and it looks like it really, I mean, if Bitcoin bounces, it wants to take out these highs here. So clear range, you had your lows, here's your highs. Yes, you have your true resistance over here. So if this isn't a bearish Quasimodo, which you have the highs and the lows, highs with a lower low, if we don't reject from here, this Quasimodo is invalid, and we should run the highs and take out the highs there. So your trigger is if we flip this mid-range resistance, and then you can long with targets up till there with stops somewhere below here on lower time frames. Fartcoin looks good. I don't like this last 4-hour candle that formed. So if we go to a lower time frame, if this continues to run from here, then you're waiting for that flip to happen. Otherwise, I could see us possibly going to a few points, and that is this order block. It's a very wide stop, so I would have, a spot position. So entry, DCA, and if we close back below 27 cents on the daily, you can go ahead and cut it. This is a very volatile coin, so I wouldn't play this leverage, but if you are, that is going to be your area to long with stops below 27 cents. So entry around 29.8, stops around 27 cents. Okay. Fartcoin looks extremely strong. I mean, look at that bounce. Huge bounce. Buyers stepped in at the retest, and this looks like it wants to reverse. Zcash, I gave you guys the short. I gave you guys the long. This was an absolute shitcoin. This will eventually go to sub 200. But taking a fresh look at this, it's in a demand zone. It has to bounce here. I honestly think it goes to this level in red. That's where I would be looking to buy. Here is a better demand zone. However, this coin, in my opinion, is for shorting. Now, if you take a look at this structure, so I mentioned to short the double top neckline in my last video. Here was the double top. Here's the neckline, right? Came back down to make a lower low, rejected right the neckline. But now, if we take a look at this on a higher time frame, this looks exactly similar. Here is the double top, 1, 2. Here is the neckline into a lower low. So a move into the neckline here, this is where you'll be looking for shorts, and then down to the sub $300 level. Okay. So similar to this, where you had the breakdown, rejection, here is the neckline, here's the neckline, breakdown, breakdown, move into there, reject, and then come back down. So I'd be looking to short this coin. You also have a short-term supply zone in this area. So everything points to a short if we get rallies. This whole market is for shorting if we get rallies. Don't be a complacent bull. Accept your fate. This is a bear market. So the next one is hype, which I also gave you guys this short. And I'm talking about my Twitter. Follow my Twitter for the next 25 days before I leave. I'll be sharing some stuff on there. But we got the move. It was a weekly SR. So there was your support. We lost it. We actually rejected it perfectly. That's where you wanted to short. I did mention that we could get a move into the supply zone here as well. We didn't, but you always want to start your bids at SR levels. Perfect level for a 20% drop. And right now, let's look at this on a clean chart. It has potential to have a low time frame double bottom here. Okay. The daily already swept the lows. So you have an SFP. Here is your range highs. Here is your range lows. Again, you always want to play support. Here is your supply. Let's draw some fibs. So if we get a move into the $34 region, that's where I'd be looking to short. Or the next area would be the range highs. But for now, as long as the range is provided to you, you're going to play the range, okay? There's no reason to short here. You already missed the move. The area to short is if this $29, $20 region is lost, then you short it with stops somewhere above here as price action develops, okay? You are not looking to short here, although this is resistance. This looks more like a double bottom and possibly a move up into here for a rejection. Otherwise, the range highs and play the range. This looks very similar to SUI. I'm not going to go over SUI. I'm just going to show you guys the chart. One sec. What chart did I have? I mean, I guess we can take a look at it here. So here is the range highs, right? Okay. And then we're back down to support. We bounce from support. So this is a huge, like this drop is an inefficient gap. So we can most likely go into testing this SR point, just like how hype tested the SR point here, right? It was previously support held. This goes and tests it and then comes back down. So here's your range with your range lows, range highs, swing highs to swing lows, right? Possibly, I mean, SR points here, you have a lot more confluence up here. So enter in small DCA there and play that way. I won't give you guys a setup for this. I'll let you guys figure it out. But right now, it's going to be choppy. We're not going to get, we just got a huge move to the downside and over, well, in like a day, an 8% move to the downside. We're not going to get a 10% move to the upside. It's just not how it works. You have to wait for triggers to be met. And right now, I think a low time frame bottom is being put in. So I'd favor more. I'd stick with one or two volatile coins and play that way. But like I said, until this level is flipped, this 93.5K level is flipped, there's no reason to be bullish or short-term bullish. I'll keep this video short because the markets are not interesting. And I'll probably make another video later this week, but I need some price action to develop after a move like this. But right now you have your triggers. Go ahead and play those. And I will see you guys probably later this week or on my usual Sundays for my second to last video. Thanks, everyone.